Are dating apps pay to win by Zachary Smigel? This was uploaded 11 days ago. Let's get into it. I'm curious. Are they? We'll see.
So I did something crazy. I swiped over 139,000 times across multiple dating apps like
Fun fact here. The average to get for the average amount a man has to swipe on dating apps to get a date, to get a coffee date, is 2,000 times. I see where you like this video. Yeah, I'm curious. I don't use them anymore, especially not Tinder because I got banned, but that's besides the point. Yeah. It's not worth it. 2,000 swipes. So maybe like every 3 months, maybe every 4 or every 5 to 4 months, maybe even. Because this is the average.
Hinge, Bumble, and Tinder, the 3 layers of hell, and dug through my dating
The 3 layers of hell. Real. Absolute real.
history data to find out, are dating apps pay to win? Wouldn't you like to know? Honestly, so would I. But why? Well, besides the need to find love,
I see only loneliness. Yeah. Yeah. This completely just speed up. Swipes. You have a limited amount of swipes. Are you aware of that?
let's be real, we should probably take a closer look at these dating apps.
If you don't pay, if you get like Tinder, was it Tinder Unlimited? You can like swipe infinitely, but cost like 500 euros. We don't do that.
Use of these apps have skyrocketed in recent years, their prices are surging to outrageous levels, and some of these platforms are even facing serious lawsuits. So we need to find out, do dating apps actually help you find love, or are they just clever schemes to empty your wallet? Which app, if any, gives you the best bang for your buck? And why?
They just make you depressed. Do I look like I use dating apps? No, you don't. First of all, you're a minor, so you're not even allowed on there. Second of all, you're a woman, you don't need to do that. It's mostly men using these apps, that's just the harsh truth.
Why does finding love feel more challenging than ever, despite all this new technology promising to make it easier? The answers to all of this and more. So whether you're single, have a single friend who annoys you, or just want to watch a nice video before bed, tuck yourself in, get comfortable, because this is a story about love, money, and the sexiest thing on earth, data. 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 For thousands of years, humans have been searching for one thing: love. Love for most is what gets you up in the morning. It's what saves you in your darkest times, and it's what motivates you to become a better person. It's sparked peace, it's ignited wars, and no matter who you are, you've likely been affected by love or lack thereof.
I wish I wasn't. I genuinely wish I wasn't. I am genuinely at a point where I am asking the question, how do you kill the desire to want love?
Often said love and compound interests are the 2 most powerful things in the universe, and that's probably why it's sought after so much. True, real, pure love is life-altering. It's so profound it's almost impossible to put into words. And humanity has always tried to make sense of it, solve its mystery, and find a way to make it happen.
No, my motivations are my goals. Great for you. I literally have... It is not motivation what drives me. It is not motivation anymore. It hasn't been for a long time. Because my goal was to have a family. But that can't motivate you.
For most of human existence, finding love meant meeting someone face to face, whether through work, school, or even at the club. But as our world evolved, so did the way we search for connection. Enter the internet, and with it, an entirely new chapter in the story of dating. Modern dating. With online messaging, email, and social media, suddenly you could shoot your shot with almost anyone, anywhere. Recognizing the potential of this new frontier, platforms like Match.com and
You could do that, but the success rates between men and women are vastly different. If a woman would shoot her shot, she succeeds maybe like 95% of the time. When I shoot my shot, we are currently at a 0% success rate.
eHarmony launched, focusing on fostering genuine connections over the web. And before long, a significant portion of dating moved online. But the real revolution came with fast-paced, swipe-happy apps like Hot or Not, Tinder, Grindr, Bumble, and Hinge. These apps did
Hot or Not? I've never heard of that one before. That one is new. That sounds like a hookup app, though. I mean, they all are, but still.
didn't just move dating online, they gamified it, creating a new kind of instant, addictive experience. Soon they inspired
This is not addictive. This makes you only depressed. Gives you depression. It gives you depression, body dysmorphia, a sense of isolation and loneliness. Because like you swipe at these, you look through the profiles, and it's like, no, no. Because I'm like the exception, right? Most men swipe everything right. I'm not most men. I swipe almost everything left.
hundreds of spin-offs tailored to every niche. Farmers only, Christian mingle, gluten-free singles, you name it. Now there's dating apps.
Gluten-free singles. Okay, bro. Grindr is for gay men. I don't know if it's for gay women as well, but I can't tell. Hinge, fucking Badoo, I know that one. Tinder, know that one. OkCupid, I know that one. The other ones, I've got no idea. Coffee meets bagel, what the fuck? Heard or not, why would people want to download that? Sounds horrible. It does.
Apps for pretty much everyone, even the rich people that hate the poors. And now finding love and experiencing modern dating has gotten a bit out of control. Traditional romance feels outdated, no pun intended. Society has increasingly nudged singles towards these platforms. With the decline of community spaces or third places like cafes, local hangouts where people once naturally met, it's getting harder to meet people. With the rise of remote work,
it's not just getting harder to meet people. You can go, like, coffees, like, cafes are empty. The only third spaces that are not empty are bars and clubs. You wouldn't be able to find somebody you could call your wife in there. Everything else is empty as fuck. Like, really. Here in Germany, there are no third spaces besides clubs and bars.
Social media, and online networking, the majority of our interactions now happen through screens, making dating apps the next logical step for connecting. And generally speaking, this new era presents us with a lot of opportunities. You can meet people you might not have ever met before. And if you truly are gluten-free and want to meet somebody like you now have that option to meet that specific person. Most popular dating apps let you filter out things like whether someone wants to have kids, is religious, or is pet-friendly. And for some, that's a dream come true. For those looking for love, or maybe even a hookup, this can save you a massive amount of time. But as with everything, commercialization happens. Apps like Tinder, Bumble, and Hinge are no longer about connecting people. They're businesses driven by making money. These apps are filled with premium features that make you feel like paying for a subscription will boost your chances of finding love. Whether it's more profile visibility, unlimited swipes, or extra super
Unlimited swipes, real. This shit is can be so expensive. Never paid for it, never will. I don't know, coffee places are usually pretty okay, number of people. They are empty here. Like, actually empty. Like, you could go inside, like, any coffee place, for example, nearby, and the only people you see is they enter the coffee place, they leave. Pretty much. These places are empty. Hookups are for weak people, in my opinion. People that have no control. Real. True.
Likes, these features promise shortcuts to more matches, love, or even getting it on. Now sure, these are businesses and they need to make money, but the cost has gone bonkers. Inflation has somehow hit dating apps, with subscription prices rising exceptionally high. To see who likes you on Tinder, it costs $40 a month. Bumble Premium is $40 a month. Hinge X is $50 a month. And it gets even crazier. Tinder rolled out a $500 a month subscription, and now it seems impossible to use many of these apps without opening your wallet. This subject has brewed so much controversy, a class action lawsuit in the US was launched earlier this year, claiming that dating apps like Tinder and Hinge are designed to addict users rather than help them establish relationships, and are even predatory. The plaintiff said that Match, the owner of these apps and many others, defrauds those looking for love, and their algorithm rewards compulsive use on their platforms, therefore forcing the average user to pay hundreds of dollars.
It's not the average user. What the fuck? Why would you pay for that shit? Because you get desperate men who pay for it. Because you don't get any matches. Like I said, a date for the average man results after around about 2,000 likes. It's desperation. Which is why you don't get it. I've never paid for this, but I do understand why you would pay for it if you are that desperate.
A year for these subscriptions. Match Group said, quote, "This lawsuit is ridiculous and has zero merit." Now, I'm not one to make assumptions, and with this lawsuit going on, loneliness skyrocketing, and me being single, I thought this would be a perfect opportunity to look into this. Is this really the key to connection, or just some cash grab? Well, luckily, I'm here, a man who puts his life, body, and soul on the line for things he cares about, a man committed to finding love, a man who's got so much affection it hurts, a man who... Alright, relax, buddy. To find out if dating apps was really worth it, my plan was simple. I needed to use these apps a lot, track my experience, and find as much data as I could to give you all enough information to make an informed decision. A lot of people don't realize that you can actually request your data from these dating apps, and you could find out how many people liked you, swiped, how many people you matched with, and more. With this data, my personal experiences, and a few extra steps, we can actually get some real answers about these dating apps. But before we get into my research and break down each app and my findings, I have to talk to you about something incredibly important: smelling good. As many of you know, years ago I worked in retail where I sold fragrances. No joke, I have nearly 4 years of experience in perfume.
Heckin' fragrance ad? This is wild. It's called going out. I've actually asked someone out in real life. Sure, it has anxiety, but it's not impossible. Just speedrun talking to people. The thing is that this is easy to say for you as a woman, because it's less likely for you to get rejected. But when people laugh at you, or because you appear very, what's the word? Shy, reject you because of that, it crushes you. I have been rejected more than you ever will. And many men have been rejected more than you ever will. You're making this way easier than it actually is. You have gotten rejected, yeah, but you will never be the rejections won't be near on the level that the shit I have seen. Nowhere near. I'm sorry to break that to you. Nowhere near.
Now back to it. Now a few quick notes if this wasn't already clear. This data is raw. It's from the depths of modern dating hell. I'm saying this because I was on these apps not just for the bit. To me, that would be a bit psychotic if I purposely swiped on thousands of people for a video. I only thought of making this video and looking into my dating history and the data and analyzing it a few months ago. I've gone on real dates, made real friends, and all of it has been pretty genuine. The point I'm making is that this experience is pretty much as real as it's gonna get. I also want to emphasize this is only one piece of the puzzle. I'm one person living in Western Pennsylvania. Now I do travel as much as I can, but my experience on dating apps where I live may be different from someone who lives in a place like Salt Lake City or Paris. Plus, I'm a guy, I'm not a female, so I'm only offering 50% of the story. What might be great for me on these apps might not be great for other people in other cities or females. Now with all that out of the way, let's get into the apps and my findings. Insert door Hinge joke here. Okay, for those of you who don't know, Hinge markets itself as designed to be deleted. The app claims to focus on more meaningful connections rather than casual swiping. Unlike Tinder and Bumble, Hinge uses prompts to encourage deeper interactions and compatibility. Over the years, Hinge has given us some iconic memes, so here's a couple. Bang. For many, especially—
That's Joe Biden. They look amazing, the ones that got wolf cut. Okay.
People around my age, Hinge seemingly is the dating app of choice for actual relationships. If Tinder is like diving into a shark tank, Hinge is more like wading through jellyfish. There is still a chance you'll get your heart broken and even die, but at least you're in slightly safer waters. Hinge has 3 versions. The free version, Hinge Plus at $30 a month, and Hinge X at $50 a month. Hinge caps you out on how many likes you have to access a day. So in order to have full access to Hinge, you have to pay. Premium plans let you see the full list of people who like you, offer priority likes, unlimited daily likes, and give access to additional dating preferences. Now, it's worth noting the highest tier, Hinge X, claims you're likely to get 3 times as more dates with this plan. Now, in my research, I couldn't find where they got this number, but I'm sure they have some internal data that—
My experience with Hinge were mid. I didn't use it for that long. I think I used it for like 3 months altogether. Because I jumped on that way later than most people. It didn't yield that many results. I don't think it yielded any results at all. I think I got like 2 matches and that's it.
It shows that—
And both of them, after getting the match, immediately unmatched me. So there's that.
this might be true. Still, I think it would be nice if the data was public and a little bit more accessible for people, because let's be honest, it's a pretty bold claim. 3 times more dates, that's a lot. There's a long-standing theory that Hinge uses an ELO system, meaning the more likes and matches you get, the more likely your profile is going to be shown to others, creating a feedback loop of visibility. Similarly, fewer likes may mean fewer appearances. Getting matches from people with high ELO supposedly boosts a quote desirability score.
So if you're ugly as shit, it is GG.
Landing you in Hinge's preferred user section. So this 3 times more dates statement kinda implies Hinge X boosts these apparent desirability scores. However, Hinge denies all of this, stating in many articles that no such system exists. Of course, all these theories could be coincidental or even self-serving bias, where we'd rather believe that an algorithm or AI is to blame than accept that maybe we're just not getting the likes that we hoped for, and instead blame external factors. No matter where you stand on the issue, it's still incredibly important to stay informed and dig into the facts. Hinge's—
Yeah, I'm blaming external factors. That's why I'm saying it's not the apps, it's not the women, because that's how you don't build resentment towards women, when you say, it is me, I'm the problem. That's how I handle that. It's me, I am responsible for that, nobody else.
push towards premium subscriptions is reason enough to look closely. So let's break it down. As I mentioned before, you can get your data from Hinge and these dating apps after just a few steps, and we could use this to establish a baseline. I have to give Hinge credit as they were the quickest to get my data out of all three of these apps. I requested it and received it in less than 72 hours. When it comes to analyzing my swiping and match history, I used a website that breaks down your data into cold, hard numbers, and the results were enlightening. Over the course of my time on the app, a little over a year and a half, I sent out a total of
actually it's me. Yeah, but that's how I treat it. I talk to a lady, she rejects me. I'm not going it's her. I'm saying it's me. I'm the problem. I wasn't good enough. And move on.
1,936 likes and received 90 matches. Of those 90 matches, 84 came from people I liked first, meaning 4.34% of the likes that I sent turned into matches. The remaining 6 matches were from people who liked
So bro paid. Interesting. That is the paid result.
me first. Unfortunately, this data doesn't tell us how many total likes I received, just the likes that led to matches, which again was 6. If I had to ballpark, I'd say it was probably a couple.
Total matches 90. Matches like sent 84. Likes received 6.
Hundred, but who knows? Still, the data that they gave us reveals some incredibly interesting takeaways. First, the vast majority of matches, over 93%, required me to take the initiative. While Hinge does encourage mutual interaction, the numbers show that you're likely to see better results by actually swiping, rather than waiting for someone to like you. The fact that only 6 out of all my interactions liked me and led to matches highlights how selective this process is, and possibly how tough it can be to stand out on these apps. To me, after seeing these numbers, it's making me think that maybe using these apps isn't the most efficient way to connect with people, but more on that later.
Could you look at it like you were just not compatible? That's how I see it. You can see it that way, but it doesn't make sense, because when it's the first interaction, you do not even know that. Right? So it is only based off looks. So it does mean you don't even get the chance to do anything, right? So like something is wrong with the way I look. But I dress completely normally, so it has to be the face. Hit me with a door so I look like handsome Squidward.
With a baseline in place, I decided to subscribe to Hinge X, the $50 premium version. I wanted to see if this premium version actually delivers on that promise of getting 3 times as many dates, or if there's any real benefit for paying for this app. I had never subscribed to the service before, so I had no idea what to expect. But for over a week, every day, I would swipe on 10 to 20 people to see if I could get matches, data, and information to compare. During this period, I sent out 105 likes. From those, I only got 1 match, a success rate of just 0.95%.
Damn. You bro paid 50. 50 bucks. And got 1 like in 100.
And yikes, less than 1%. I was also liked by 7 people, which is higher than usual for me. Unfortunately, none of those likes turned into matches. I even sent 1 super like, or rose, and received 1 as well, but neither led to a match. So what did I actually find? Well, with Hinge X, it was pretty clear to me that Hinge was pushing my profile more. I consistently received at least 1 like a day, compared to the free version where I would likely get like 1 to 2 a week, if that. That said, even with the increased visibility, the ability to convert those likes into matches just weren't there. I also might have skewed my premium results by liking that many people a day. According to previous data, I swiped over 1,900 times over 500-ish days. That would be an average of around 3.59 swipes a day, but I just wanted to get the most out of the premium service, so I swiped a lot more. But just so you know, if I swiped 3.59 times a day, assuming the results were the same, I still would have had a success rate of around 3%, which is a lower percentage than my experience with the free version. So while Hinge X may seem appealing, I believe the results don't necessarily justify the cost. If anything, they highlight that these apps often overpromise.
Yeah, and consider this. The way I see it, he seems to be in the United States, or possibly, I don't know. That already screws up, like, for some places the numbers, because the more rural it gets, the more useless these apps get, because there's less people.
while under delivering. But that's just Hinge. Let's talk about another app. Next up is Bumble, the app that flipped traditional swiping on its head. The idea was simple. Bumble put control in women's hands, making it the first major dating app where only women can start the conversation after a match. The simple twist made Bumble stand out, appealing to women who wanted a fresh approach to online.
Didn't Bumble said they wanted to change the system because women aren't swiping? I remember something like that. I could be wrong. But I remember something like this happening.
Online dating, especially those tired of unsolicited messages and awkward opening lines. What's crazy about Bumble is that recently they've also had a slew of controversy. Remember about 24 seconds ago where I said Bumble put the control in women's hands? Well, that's not exactly the case anymore. A couple years ago, Bumble launched a feature called Compliments, which allowed users, men included, to send a note before they decide to connect, which kinda defeats that original idea, doesn't it? You might be thinking, why would they do that? Oh right, money. Initially, you'd get a few compliments for free. Then they limited that and started charging people a ton to compliment others. It seems like the company got pushed back a lot on this because I could not find a way to purchase compliments. In fact, it gave me no option to do so, but there was still an option to send them, just not buy. So if I'm reading between the lines, I believe they're quietly removing this feature, but don't worry, Bumble is still trying to make money in other ways. Like Hinge, they have a premium plan. Their plan includes the ability to see who liked you, unlimited likes, super swipes, and free boosts. Interestingly, the prices of this plan vary a lot. According to some, Bumble prices depend on regions, age, sex, and more. Now, I don't know if this is entirely true, but when I purchased, it was a different price than what it is right now, and even some articles and Reddit users all have different sets of prices. They could just be constantly changing their prices.
Is it skill-based matchmaking? They look at your photos and say, "Yeah, we're gonna charge you less." Cause like, you look better, but they're gonna charge you more because you look worse. Is it skill-based matchmaking?
But who knows? So I can't tell you the exact current price for everybody, but I can tell you how much I spent and if it was worth the bang for your buck. So how much did I spend? $250.
Bruh.
Okay, $250. Oh my god! Hope you made them back through this video, bro, because if not, you're screwed.
You absolutely suck!
I know, ridiculous, but I got a lifetime subscription to Bumble. And when I purchased this, I calculated that if I was single for more than a year, it would essentially pay for itself. So who's laughing now?
You absolutely suck! Jackass!
Because of this, I have a lot of experience with Bumble Premium. However, we ran into a slight problem. Bumble is taking forever to provide me with my data. Hinge, and you'll see later Tinder, just took a few days to get me my data, and I've been waiting weeks for Bumble. So we're gonna circle back to the
Oh my god. So no data. That's interesting. 250, yes. Mm-hmm. Lifetime.
this hopefully in a few days.
Hi, I'm Ken Swisman.
Smelling data.
Ever need a time machine?
Data.
It's a
So
real
I did
time
something
machine.
crazy.
Oh,
Who's laughing
time
now?
machine.
Okay, me from the future here. After 20 days, Bumble has finally sent me my data. I don't know why it took that long, but we finally have it, so let's dig into the numbers. So during my time on Bumble, I swiped a total of 58,584 times, saying yes to 21,857 people, and no to 36,727 people. On the flip side, 373 people swiped yes on me, while
Oh my god. Wow. Wow. That's wild. That is wild. Damn.
15,238 swiped no. Ouch. That means that just 2.39% of people who encountered my profile chose to swipe right. Also, according to Bumble's data,
Oh, that is 7 matches. That is 7 matches? We'll pay $250 for 7 matches. Wow.
I've only had 7 matches, but that seems to be incorrect because I currently have 26 matches in the system right now, and I'm confident that over the time I've used Bumble, I've had significantly more. Hypothetically though, if we use that 26 as a number to find my overall match rate, my overall match rate would just be 0.0.
Bro is shiny hunting. Bro is literally shiny hunting. That is crazy. That's just so sad. I can see why people feel worse after using them. Bro got 26 matches after 58,000 swipes. 0.044% is crazy. That is insane.
0.044% of all the swipes I made. A shockingly low number. Without a question, Bumble has been the least successful dating app for me compared to others. Now, having said that and seeing that low percentage point, you might think, what's the point? Well, I really don't think that these numbers paint the whole picture for Bumble. I've had a lot of quality conversations, connections, dates, friendships come from Bumble. So even though the numbers aren't necessarily on my side in this equation, I definitely do think that I've gotten my fair share of use out of it, and I've had some really good connections. No.
Still, don't make this don't make this nicer than it actually is. That is still a horrendous number. That is still a horrendous percentage number. I'm better off, I don't know, maybe not playing lottery, but maybe like, I don't know, some other gambling stuff. I think the only worst thing that I can think of is pulling an ultra character from Dragon Ball Legends, which is like a 0.035%.
Unfortunately, Bumble doesn't provide as much detailed data as other apps like Hinge and Tinder, so I can't really establish a clear baseline to compare my results before upgrading to premium. That said, I can confidently say I've experienced more success with Bumble Premium than without it. Despite my overall low results, I pretty much always noticed a significant spike in likes whenever I used my weekly boost included with Premium. In fact, if I had to put a number on it, around 90% of my likes during my time with Premium came directly from that weekly boost. With all that being said, Bumble Premium feels a lot like Hinge X to me. You do get an increase in visibility, though I'm not sure that that increase is significant enough to justify.
He copes, I'm sorry, but for 250, you better give me an actual husband. Well, for 250, if you paid as a woman, you would probably get a lot of matches. Not as a dude.
At the cost. However, I do think that it's really nice that Bumble offers that one-time purchase to own it outright. If you're projecting you're gonna be single for a bit, or maybe you just wanna like play the field for the time being, then that one-time purchase is definitely an easier pill to swallow than shelling out a monthly fee. But that's everything about Bumble. Let's try another app. Tinder is by far
I can no longer use it. I am banned from making too many accounts back to back.
Are the largest and most popular dating app, and to me, the most interesting to research. Tinder has 4/5 tiers: free, plus, gold, platinum, and select. Free is free, the app has ads, you get capped out on how many times you can swipe, you can't see who swiped you, have limited preferences you can select, and is the basic version of Tinder. Now after that, it gets a little complicated. Essentially, plus lets you swipe an unlimited amount of times, gold lets you see who swiped you, platinum does all that, gives you free boost, priority likes, and more. Finally, Tinder Select is that $500 a month plan that is absolutely insane. It's invite only, plus you have to fill out an application to get approved after the invite. Now, Tinder does claim that this package offers users perks beyond those granted to the average swiper, but I'm sorry, unless this plan comes with a guarantee that modern baseball will get back together, I'm never paying $500 a month for a dating app.
No.
God damn it. So I'm
No! You are not doing that. You are not doing that. You're not paying $500 a month. You will not do that. Please don't.
not kidding, I actually had Tinder reach out to me this summer and invited me to Tinder Select, and for science, I went ahead and tried to see if I can get approved. I wanted to see if I could just get approved. Honestly, I never intended to pay $500 a month for it, but I wanted to have that ability in my pocket as I was in the early stages of ideation for this video. So I had to apply and I actually got approved. Now, interestingly, I never realized I received this email.
Okay, I will do that. No, don't do that. 500? Yep.
Until I sat down and started working on this video. And now, unfortunately, when I went to use my approval and try out this ridiculous subscription, they said they were no longer accepting applications.
He's safe. He's safe. He escaped.
So I guess I missed out. But don't worry, I have a lot of other data on Tinder's most popular subscriptions. Back in the day, me and my single frugal peers would use this one trick that Tinder hated. Essentially, Tinder would offer Tinder Gold for a massive discount for the first month, something like 50% off. So instead of paying $40 to see who liked your profile, you could just pay $20. What I and many others would do is subscribe to this and then instantly cancel. Tinder would then send you the same offer couple days later. So essentially you can get access to real full Tinder at a 50% discount if you were on the ball. For those rolling their eyes, come on, paying full price for dating apps in this economy? Ridiculous. Anyways, over the last year or so, I and many others have done this on and off until Tinder seemingly caught on and changed
5 heads. They caught them eventually.
the deal to Tinder Platinum. So you still get a discount, but now you're spending an extra $5 and you get Platinum instead of Gold. Now originally this annoyed me, but this is actually where I got the idea for this video. With Tinder adjusting their discounted package, I now have a boatload of data of me using Tinder Gold, Platinum, and the free version. Huh. Take that, Tinder. So I asked for my data. It only took a few days to get, and to analyze it, I used a website called Swipe Stats, and the findings were pretty fascinating. In January and February, I used free Tinder and averaged 3 matches a month. From March to May, I upgraded to Tinder Gold, which bumped.
That's more than I get a month. That's more than I got every month. But this area is also pretty much this bitch empty. That's crazy.
My average to 4.6 matches a month. Then, from June to October, I subscribed to Tinder Platinum and saw a significant jump, averaging 14.6 matches a month. Statistically, Tinder Platinum actually got me more matches, like a lot more matches, and this really shocked me. Now looking at the rest of my data, because I've been on Tinder for a while, I also saw some other interesting things. 2 Julys ago, I experienced a similar surge in matches, but it still didn't compare to the recent spike during my Platinum subscription. Another intriguing detail is that even though I had more matches during this Platinum period, I swiped on fewer people overall. Was Tinder showing me better quality matches because I was paying for Platinum? Maybe. I can't say for certain, but the data is definitely interesting to see. Now, for the sake of transparency, there were a few days during those months where I didn't have an active premium subscription. I would occasionally cancel and wait for them to offer that discount, but this was only like 2 or 4 days at a time, so I still got 95% of the month in with a premium subscription. And honestly, I think that's enough data to find a good representation of if these subscriptions are actually worth it or not. Additionally, in January and February, I did use a gold pass for 7 days, which essentially just let me look at who liked me during that time, but predominantly during that time, it was all Tinder free. Another thing I noticed during my time on Tinder was the number of matches I got from bots or people promoting their side hustles.
Real. There's so many women that do that on there. So many. There's so many.
At first glance, it may seem obvious if you carefully examine a profile, but let's be real, we've all been there. You're in the middle of a swiping session, you see someone attractive, and you just swipe without thinking too much into it. Then a few days later, you get a match, only to realize it's not a real person. Also, I have no problem with people that do those side hustles. I just think it's a little bit unethical to promote that on Tinder, where people are trying to find relationships or actual
Also, I know for some it's not a side hustle, it's a legitimate career. No, it's not. Those are prostitutes.
hookups. Just saying. This happened to me so many times, no matter which level of Tinder I was using. It's also worth noting that both Tinder Platinum and Gold included one free monthly boost. And honestly, that's when I got a majority of my likes and matches. For example, just the other day in preparation for this video, I used a boost and got 14 likes in a single session. These boosts really skew the results, which does raise the question, is it better to just buy boosts instead of a subscription? Regular boosts might actually be a decent investment if you use them strategically during peak activity times. Buying 5 boosts for $34.99 might deliver more value than paying full price for Platinum, but that's just one piece of the puzzle. So what are my overall conclusions about paying for these apps and these premium services? Are dating apps pay to win? Well, I'd say sort of. I wish I could tell you that the free versions of these apps are just as effective as the premium versions, but they're not. In most cases, Hinge, Bumble, and Tinder, I did notice better results with the premium subscription.
Simply put, they are pay to win. He's coping. They are pay to win.
Sometimes it would be more likes, sometimes it would be more matches, sometimes it was just an overall better user experience. However, I still don't think the premium subscriptions for any of these apps are truly worth the price tag. So let me be clear, this is far from an endorsement for any of these premium service dating apps. If anything, it's the opposite. These apps are expensive, and frankly, they overpromise on a lot. It's clear that many of these algorithms are designed more to get you to keep paying than actually help you find matches. So it's no surprise then that some of these companies are being sued and labeled as predatory. They target lonely people, convincing them that paying for a subscription will dramatically improve their chances of finding a connection. But here's the darker truth. Most people who have success with dating apps are probably going to have success whether they pay for them or not. And the same can be said for people that aren't having luck. There might be an issue with their pictures, prompts, or maybe they just come across better in person. Personally, I feel like I come across better in video or in person than I do in photos. Some people just don't take great pictures, and paying hundreds of dollars for these services isn't going to fix that. I've had success with both the
I had a woman take my pictures before I took them myself. I noticed a slight improvement, but it's just minimal. I will never be desperate enough to get 500 to pay 500 for an app. I'd rather be alone by then. Again, the vast majority of people that pay this are dudes. It is dudes paying this.
free and premium versions of these apps.
Okay, match rate final totals. 0.95% match rate with Hinge X, actual match rate. 3.1% match rate with Hinge X, projected swipe. Okay. 4.34 match rate with free Hinge, so why the fuck is that more weird? 0.012% match rate with Bumble, with matches according to reports. 0.044% match rate with Bumble with the matches in system. 2.17% match rate with Tinder Platinum. 0.62% match rate with Tinder Gold. 0.57% match rate with free Tinder. Rest in peace.
Apps. And honestly, based on the data I've gathered, despite better results, I don't think there's enough significant difference that justifies paying for these apps. Of course, there are a few exceptions. If you're in a new city for a weekend and don't want to waste days or weeks waiting for matches, paying to skip the process could be beneficial. The same logic applies if you're looking for a really specific type of partner. Still, this entire industry feels very questionable. A lot of the marketing used by these
I don't think I can get a woman that wants to wait until marriage. Like a 0 point something percentage on swipes in combination with waiting until marriage, I might as well put a gun in my mouth and end it all. That's just how it is. A return from the store. Welcome. Welcome back.
These apps is outright misleading, and it's no wonder they're often in the news and facing scrutiny. Personally, I think these apps would be better if they were all free with ads with an option for an ad-free version, and let's say boosts on the side. Blocking basic features behind a paywall, hiding certain profiles, and claiming you'll have more success if you pay is the definition of pay to win. That said, this is worse on some apps more than others. Despite Bumble taking forever to get my data, and the fact I had an incredibly low match rate percentage, I like that Bumble offers lifetime access to its premium version, and I think all apps should have that option. To me, I think Bumble is actually the best bang for your buck. They seem upfront about things, while Hinge and Tinder really seem to oversell how much their premium subscriptions will help your odds of success. Finally, I think this highlights the need to explore dating app alternatives. I know, this might seem off the table for some people in today's world, but if love is the endgame for most, then maybe it's worth stepping out of your comfort zone and trying to do something different. Shoot your shot. You never know. I'm just some dude on the internet. I'm not going to give relationship advice, but I will say this. The happiest I've ever felt in my life was when I was taking risks, even the small ones. Whether going on stage to do karaoke, joining a new club, or striking up a random conversation with a stranger. You never know where it's gonna lead. Who knows, it might even lead to finding your soulmate, or at the very least, someone to spend the night with. As always, thank you so much.
I wouldn't want somebody to spend the night with. Thank you, no. I wish I could use that option, but I live in a rural area where those things are very limited. Like I said, the pandemic has killed third spaces completely. But yeah, that was a good video.